Guys, and welcome to Thoughts and Questions Nollywood movie review. And on today's episode, we're talking about Love and Razz, the movie. And this movie is an Onyii Alex TV classic. Definitely a story that reimagines family and love and bonds that go beyond blood. For those of you who are yet to watch this movie, Onyii Alex TV brings us this classic. And the story is basically about a family drama, and it offers a compelling story that challenges traditional ideas of what a family is. Now, the story centers on Leo, a man who lives super irresponsible life, and Ashabi, a woman who shows up at his doorstep saying that she is his long lost half sister. Now, this movie is a roller coaster of emotions. I think Onyii Alex in this movie did incredible character. And I mean, this whole gangster girl in the hood girl, from grass it was funny to watch. And I think it was also amazing because it brought life to the character Shabi, and she did incredibly well with the story. And I mean, these are two people who have incredible chemistry on set. I mean, if you've watched any Daniel Etim Onyii Alex combination, you know that it really brings a lot of wit to the stories that these two people do. And this film is really brilliant, and it's a heartfelt movie on how family can be found in the most unexpected places and how true connections go beyond blood. So on the story and characters, now the movie opens, I think the opening scene with this story was a bit weird. I mean, it's not your typical sequence. One person, we follow one person, and we get tricked to follow another person who eventually takes us into the scene that is happening on the side of the sequence of the second sequence. It was I mean, I know there's a lot of words in there, but well, you catch my drift. For those of you who watch the opening part of the movie, you catch the drift there. But it was good. Now we get to see Leo's lifestyle. We get to see the contrast between Leo, who is living a playboy lifestyle, and based on what he has inherited from his father's company, and this is frustrating his family. I mean, we see that clear, and we get to find out that his world is actually turned upside down because Ashabi shows up. And this is a ghetto woman who now claims to be his half-sister, a secret from his late father's past, And so then we begin to see how this friction unfolds, because Ashabi comes with all the ghetto burdens, ghetto hood, the class, the group, and the bonds she has, And we now get to see how Leo's family is now being confronted with hidden history and the responsibility that Leo is even avoiding. Now, to add to this whole chaos is Crystal, who is on and off with Leo, and her jealousy and his behavior even creates more tension. And the dynamic between these three characters is what really drives the plot in the story, as they all sort of grapple with the secrets, loyalties, and the complex nature of relationships. Now, the film is about discovery, and basically this discovery is not just for the characters, but it's also for us, the audience, because when you start in the movie, you tend to think that it's going to be about love, where Ashabi will fall in love with Leo because of the disparity in where they both are with regards to the economic line, but then it takes you on a different tangent. So why is this a really good movie? The central theme of this movie is basically about what it means to be a family. And the story skillfully navigates that tension between blood relation and emotional connection. We get to see Ashabi's emotional connection run deeper than her blood relation. And it just questions how shared history and genuine care are more important than a last name, which really brings us to a very powerful and moving conclusion in the movie. It's also a journey of change. We get to see Leo's major highlight, and we see him as the center of a lot of things. And we also get to see his transformation from a selfish, carefree man into someone who is willing to take responsibility, not just for the business that he's been thrown into, but for his life and the people who are in it. And we also get to see his journey to self-discovery, and this is at the emotional center of the film, and it really brings about a very inspiring and emotional tale. On the power of suspense, this movie is not a thriller. I mean, by all standards, it's a romance or family movie-ish, but it builds on suspense through the secrets that the movie offers, because then you're wondering if Ashabi is telling the truth, and what will Crystal's jealousy cause, and the film just keeps you guessing at that point. I think one of the things that Nollywood movies on YouTube are starting to do well, or if they started a while ago, maybe I'm now catching on, is they're trying to not give you the predictable ending. We know from this story that it's not a story about love, but we also know that the ending is not what you quite think it to be, or it doesn't really fit the pillars of what you would think the ending would be. So the film keeps you guessing, and it really brings you to an invested outcome, where these dramas sort of find a certain good resolve, and it makes that feel very impactful. The performances are outstanding. Now, if you have Onyii, Alex, and Daniel, Etim, and Ada really is there, so definitely you get to know that this is going a certain tangent that you would love in terms of how these actors bring these characters out. And so you will feel the tension, the betrayal, and every aspect of this movie would bring you to a point where you realize that this is real and authentic. So in terms of ratings, we are giving this cinematography 4 out of 5 stars. We know that, again, consistency. We are seeing consistent, clear, sweet images. The camera works a lot to contrast Leo's luxurious lifestyle and empty life with the raw emotional energy that Ashabi brings into the home. The direction is also well composed and thoughtful, and it brings you into very key emotional moments, and it makes the story feel both intimate and visually engaging. Now, on emotional tones, we're doing 5 out of 5 because it's a powerful and sweet emotional journey that is powerful and sweet emotional journey that brings you to a point of profound love and healing. And the lead actors really do a very great job at really pulling you into the tension of trying to prove that you really belong to a family because of your last name and because of an affair that even the current family doesn't even know about, and all of that stuff. And the story is deeply moving. So I think that the reality is where you're dealing with you with all this money, this inheritance, and somebody just coming to poke a hole in it and say that some of that belongs to me by virtue of blood, and we see that the suspense is solid, and it brings you into a lot of lingering questions. Is Ashabi really Leo's half sister? I mean, how would this crystal business affect this rapport that he's trying to build? and what really happened in the past to create this chaos, or to create this whole narrative. And the film really just brings these questions and these mysteries together in a way that you don't expect. This is a character-focused drama, and it brings you to a very good emotional twist and really sweet sense of conclusion that you will love. It's 121 minutes long. I don't want to talk about the time because I feel like I have issues with time, how long these movies are, and I feel like they don't need to be, but well, that's just me. But all in all, Onyii Alex TV did an incredible piece with this, and it's a movie that you're definitely going to love. So for those of you who have not yet watched it, go over to Onyii Alex and check it out and tell us about it later or not. Goodbye. We'll see you in the next one.